Hi everyone, Dennis Foley from Acoustic Fields. Today we're going to summarize the last, 7 videos where we took that 11 by 8 by 13 room, treated it, and then we did some 75, 85, 95 dB songs, pressure levels in it, so you could see the movement of the wave and the ray energy. So we're going to define the wave energy, all energy below 125 and the ray above 125. So what is this? Pressure. What is this? Reflections. Those are our two main categories for almost everything in acoustics. So what I want to do is I want to notice the movement, the variance in the movement between these two regions of energy. And that's what this whole exercise has been about, the movement of that energy. And today I want to talk about three things that we need to look at in the movement of that energy, because that's very, very important. We take the big picture, macro level view, and then we bust it up into three parts. There's more parts, but for purposes of this understanding, that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the fundamentals and the harmonic movement. So we're going to look at the energy below 125 as the fundamental. We're going to look at how it moves. And then we're going to look at the energy above 125 and see if we have a similar movement, right? Because fundamental harmonics, everything should move together. That's what we want. We want everything to be synchronized and move together in those domains. So do you see the frequency and harmonic ratios? If, let's take 40, goes up 10 dB, do we see 80, 120, 160, 200? Do we see that kind of movement there? And the speed, do we see them each moving together? That's resolution. That's how you find your resolution. You guys say, well, I want a higher resolution. There it is. It's right in front of you. You just got to harness it. And that's very difficult to do. We're going to show you a little bit how to do that. We want a synchronization between the fundamental and the harmonic. So we have one fundamental and 5 harmonics. More, but let's just go for the first 5. We got to keep all these horses in the corral. Get them moving in the same way. That's the goal. It's like herding cats. Okay, but if you have the right kind of treatment, we can do that. We want to look at now peaks and dips. So we have peaks and dips. You can take some of the measurements here you see, and you can see 40, 50, 60. Some are a little bit higher than others. You can see by how much. That's the goal. We're not going to get a perfectly flat response right out of the gate. We're going to get variance, but we want to have a starting point with that variance so we can build on it. And this curve here you see is about 6 months of listening and tuning. I tried to take this empty room we had in the studio and add units, small groups at first, measure, add, measure. How much is it going to take to get this response that you see on these screens? So that was the process that I went through. So we want to look at the peaks. We want to look at all the maximum now reach of all of this movement. So we have the fundamental and the harmonics moving together, and we have the peaks and the dips inside those. And now what do we want to do? We want to make sure that we don't go too much in each area. We want to keep each fundamental and each harmonic at a maximum level, not exceeding. And there's the definition of your flat response. Okay. We want to get rid of the spatial irregularities in the response. We want to do that in the analog domain. Okay. Then we can bring the digital in for polish. We can do that. But you don't want to bring the digital in right out of the gate to overcompensate for a really bad room. It just sounds digitized. It doesn't sound natural. So our goal here is to harness all the issues in the room in the analog domain. Now we offer 3 resolutions for our clients, whether you're building a new room or treating an existing room. 70, 80, 90% resolution. At 70% resolution, you still have 30% problems left in the room. but maybe budget and space won't permit a higher resolution. So we treat for 70, and you can always improve, right? What is improvement? How do you go from a 70 to 80? More treatment. That's the goal. Okay. How do you go from 70 to 90? 3 times the treatment. It's not linear, and neither is the cost. Go from 80 to 90, it's almost double the budget to get to 80. That's the unusual thing about it. But 70, 80, 90. So at 70, you got 30% problems. At 80, you got 20% problems. 90, you got 10%. 70 is hobbies, 80% resolution, professional mix, personal listening, 10 years or longer. And then, of course, mastering, 90% resolution. Those guys only want to work around 10% of the problems. Where do you think the problems are always left? The low end. Always. All right. So we want to get rid of the spatial irregularities in response, and we want to get everything moving together. If you want to summarize this whole rave of mine, so to speak, that's what we're doing. We're looking at the energy, balancing the amount, and how it got there. That's what we're doing. And you got to do that with the right kind of treatment. We want to make the music fit into the room, not the room fit to the music, because that's never going to happen. We have to stay true to source, true to the music. And a combination of analog and digital, we can do that. Remember, we want to listen to the music, not the room. The room should, go away. That's our goal. So fortunately, in order to make it go away, we have to treat it, but we can if we've got space and budget. Hope this helps. Thank you.